Okay, let's talk about Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. Now, I told you guys I really wasn't hyped for this fight. Went out and saw my dad, who just turned 83 years old, on September the 10th, and had a great family outing with him and the rest of some other family members. So I had a beautiful day. Didn't think about this fight not one time. I got home last night, and say a little after 3 o'clock in the morning, that's when I decided to. I wasn't even thinking about it. I completely wasn't even thinking about the fight, But I tune in, and before I even get to the fight, let's go back. Now, initially, around the time Terrence Crawford was talking about going up to fight Canelo, everything that was going on was constant talk. Different fighters claiming they want to fight this guy. This fighter saying he wants to fight that guy. This guy saying he wants to fight this guy, but the fights don't happen. Okay. When I'm looking at what Crawford wanted to do, it's not like it's impossible because you go up and wait to beat someone. Now, what I observed with Crawford in the Mattermore fight, when I'm looking at his legs, his movement, it just didn't look steady. I'm looking at this guy, Madrimov, and I'm saying, well, Madrimov is not good enough to press Crawford to make him do anything different. So, you see something, you start processing things, and you start, okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe Crawford was just doing enough to do what he had to stay ahead because there was no dominance in that fight. He never, neither fighter, stepped up and just took over and, okay, this is my fight. Like, Crawford clearly won the fight, yes. But it was like, okay, maybe that was the approach. You never know. This is why I always say it's a fight-by-fight basis. You never know what a fighter's going to do come fight night. So all of the hype of comparing this guy, Madrimov, to Canelo and this and that, and the guy only has 11 pro fights, like all of these different things. Nobody else could beat Madrimov but Crawford. Okay. Now, through all of the talk, all of the back and forth, at some point, I'm the type of person, it's like let the smoke clear. I want to focus on the two fighters. So through time, you heard me say, initially, I didn't think it was a good idea. Because I'm looking at Crawford, I'm looking at his situation of wanting, he want to cash out, he want the biggest payday, he said, against Errol Spence and against Canelo. No problem. Now, like I said, I'm not telling you it's impossible for him to beat Canelo. I just don't see why he wouldn't fight Gerard first, then go up, then go or whatever, right? But the thing with that was, and it's his choice, the thing with that was he already knew and made up in his mind, like he said when he made that interview, and he said, I'm at the tail end of my career, and he said he only wanted 2 more fights. Okay, I get it. So really, the majority of what I was saying wasn't even at this point, it's not even directed at Crawford. It's the Crawford fans who was, everything is about comparing this guy to this guy did this, his performance versus his performance, and all of this nonsense. So the idiotic fans, and I've said it several times, I'm not even talking to the fighter, I'm talking to you stupid fans. How many times have I done that? Okay. We watch some more, we watch Canelo. What did I say about Canelo? I said, man, Canelo is cherry picking guys. And here you go, you hypocritical, stupid fans, because every one of these fighters that you see in the long run, with the exception of Alexander Usyk, you see all of these fighters, past and present, that just cherry picks. Holyfield wasn't a cherry picker. There's certain fighters who they just fought who the promoters brought to them. But what I'm saying, if you look at it, and I'm talking about some of the greatest fighters of all times have cherry picked, yes. But the point, and cherry picks also go wrong often. They often go wrong. But when I looked at it, Crawford and I looked at Canelo. I said, well, we know clearly Crawford's a better boxer than Canelo. Definitely more skilled than Canelo. My whole thing was, would his legs be able to get him around the ring when he need to? And I told you, if Crawford see what I see, go back and look. Did I not tell you? Go back and look for those who don't remember. I said, if Crawford see what I see, he'll outbox Canelo easily. My only thing was, does he have the legs to get around when he needs to? I told you, he doesn't need to run from Canelo. He just needs to move when he needs to, whether it's lateral movement, whether it's to break Canelo's momentum, to throw off his timing. You understand what I mean? Set his shots up from angles when Canelo don't expect shots to come. Can his legs get him around? Because the danger he faces if he can't move when he needs to is him standing there just banging with a bigger, stronger guy where he gets caught with unnecessary shots. We've seen Canelo get outboxed by Amir Khan. We've seen several people outbox Canelo, even if he won in the end. I mean, go back and look at the Austin Trout fight, the Lara fight. We know what Floyd did to him. And here's the funny thing, right? Look at the fight. Crawford moved way more than Floyd did. And there's times in the fight, like I said, that's what I mean. Give them different looks. It's a couple of times in the fight where Crawford stood there and just started throwing shots at Canelo. You could see clearly who had the much harder punch. And like I told you, it's not about having the hardest punch. It's about, I have to hit him. And I have to hit him way more times than he hits me. And I'm going to have to, if the judges try to rob me, it's going to be the thing where, you understand what I mean? It's clear that, it's clear that I won and I got robbed. Okay. Which is what we didn't want to see. You want to see the best fighter. Who's the better fighter get the decision. But at the end of the day, Crawford answered those questions. His legs were not gone. But here's the thing, right? If you watch him, his movement, he's heavier now. So he's carrying more weight. And the fact, could he carry that 168 for 12 rounds? Because what we knew about Canelo was this. He can't cut off a ring. He has slow feet. His best defense is his offense. When people talk about his pressure, what pressure? If you watch Canelo, there's no pressure. He just walks up straight to you, right? And what happens is he fight these flat-footed fighters that even if they are decent or kind of good at what they do, they're not great. And they're not really all that good, to be honest with you. Why do you think Canelo brought in Jerron Boots Ennis as a sparring partner and the other Cuban guy that fights at 160? Because they're slick boxers. So if he was as confident like you're no different, you're the same. See, all the things he said, I told you I don't care about words. It's what happens once you get in there. And when I watched him fight against William Skull, now, William Skull is a much bigger dude than Crawford. And you could even see his size to Canelo, not just his height, the width of his back. He's a big dude. So my thing was, don't look at what William Skull is doing and think that that's what Terrence Crawford is going to do. Crawford is not going to move the way Skull is doing. Crawford, he's not going to do that. He's going to fight more than Skull. Now, Andre Ward and different people who, even though they picked Crawford to win, they all had the same concern. Is Crawford going to, let the ego, let the feeling get to him and start to trade when he shouldn't and just get caught with some shit? You see, those were logical thoughts. As I said, doesn't matter what we think, but when you think logically, at least when the fight plays out, people can respect your visions and your views and why you saw things the way you saw them. Okay, I always told you guys, to me, when I watch him, you guys that see, hatred and stupidity is a nasty combination. You guys that want so bad to be able to say that, oh, this version of Canelo beats Floyd. Oh, he's way better. I'm like, nope. Same fucking Canelo. The same Canelo. You know what happened to Canelo last night? He finally fought a guy that can actually box. And had discipline. We've seen it with Beevil. What was the excuse with Beevil? Beevil's too big. Well, what's the excuse with Crawford, who's older than Canelo, and had to come up in weight? So it's funny how Canelo was too small for 175, but, you know, Crawford came up and showed you, nah, I'm not too small. I'm going to come in here and whoop your ass. Let's look at the Jermell Charlo fight. Jermell went in there. I don't think Jermell really believed he could beat Canelo even before the fight. He said he think he could. I think he knew, okay, this is the biggest payday I'm going to get so far. And he went in there and he felt something early and just made up his mind, in his mind, he's not going to box. The way, now compare his performance to when he was fighting at 154. It was different. We used to hear Jamal Charlo. Remember when he was talking to Demetrius Andre, why you want to fight me? But I never fought at 168. And I'm saying, see, that is a very crippling mindset. You're worried about some weight. If your skills is what you say they are, what the fuck is 8 pounds, man? You already at 160, which means fighting at 168. You know, I don't know what every fighter walk around with. Some people don't walk. Some people walk around not too much heavier than their fight weight. But then you got people that's way over the fight weight and then have to come down. But what I'm saying is the difference in two fighters can simply be the mindset, not just skill levels. They might at the right weight class, it's a great fight. But then going up, one guy has more heart than the other. He has more confidence in himself, more belief than the other. So when you look at the Jermell Charlo fight, and we know that Jermell Charlo was a solid fight at 154 pounds. But Jamal Charlo, who's now at 168, you understand what I'm saying? This is the division he's come up to, and this is where he's more than likely going to stay. Okay? He had to get that bullshit out of his mind. But I never fought at 168. And the little brother, Jermell, is the one that went up first. And he couldn't handle the shit. If you watch how plain Canelo is, I told you guys a long time ago. I said, man, I think Canelo's a good fighter, man. But he is badly overhyped when it comes to... See, instead of people just focusing on who you can fight right now, who's in your generation to fight now. No, they want to, or more, look, 99.9% of this shit is about wanting to say Canelo or Crawford or some other fighter from this generation is better than Floyd. You guys always bring Floyd into the picture. This is why you hear me talk about Floyd so much when I'm explaining things to you guys, because you keep saying, but he'll beat Floyd. Based on what? Well, if Floyd come to 168, wait. How is it that you want Floyd to come to 168, but you're scared for Canelo to go to 175? You understand what I'm saying? And for the record, you look at everybody else that Canelo beat and destroyed at 154 pounds. Look at all the legends he beat. You guys don't want to say anything about their ages or whatever because you don't want to take credit from Canelo. You can't take credit from him. Okay? What happened, happened. They all, tuned in. They all watched, and the fighters themselves agreed. But you guys who sit up here with these excuses about who's this and who wouldn't that, this is how childish and petty, like so many people are. None of that shit added up. I'll give you an example of something, right? Was it the day before or was it or last night? I think it was last night on the way home. Or was it, whatever the fuck it was. This dude, Showbiz the Adult. No, actually, I'm tripping. I'm tripping because I fell asleep last night. I got home last night, probably like around after 10 or something like that. Came, took my shower, got relaxed. And, I sat there, I fell asleep watching the new Jurassic Park movie. Not because the movie wasn't good, it was just me, I was tired. So when I woke up, I said, all right, cool. And it was like 3-something in the morning. But when I woke up, and what reminded me is because when I woke up, I started watching YouTube, whatever. And I see, it was last night. Well, you can say today, because after 12 o'clock, okay, Sunday. So I'm sitting there and I see Showbiz the Adult telling everybody there's no way that, no, I saw that video already. There's the other one. He's saying you guys are going to get mad. He starts breaking down to you how Canelo's going to win. He says something about 7th, 8th round or whatever it was, 8th, 9th, whatever. He's going to stop. He's going to drop Crawford. Crawford's going to go down. He's going to smile, stick his tongue out, shake his head. He's going to get up. He's going to go back in. And then Canelo's going to finish him. And I started laughing because I said, man, this guy is like 0 for 20. Every time I see this guy open his mouth, for some reason, every time I hear him talk about who's going to win a big fight, he's always wrong. And then he talks about how Canelo's going to stop him. The video I saw before that made me laugh because I told you guys I wasn't going to do another video about those two until after the fight. And I did see a video of Crawford, Showbiz saying Crawford, talking about how Crawford, Canelo swole up the guys' arms, these much bigger guys, and he did this and that. He couldn't use their arm and show them speaking. We all saw that. Okay, but this was his opinion. He has a right to his opinion. His opinion is bullshit, but he starts talking about much bigger, stronger guys couldn't defend against Canelo, and Crawford's too small. He's not going to be able to defend. And I'm like, I can tell you can't fight, Showbiz, because if you understand the psychology, you've been watching, everybody thought Tyson was going to destroy Holyfield. Holyfield was not strong enough. Yo, Tyson's too ferocious. All of the things that we heard people say about Mike Tyson. And me and this dude, Phil, who's dead now. Okay, Phil was like, years older than me. And I was like the youngest dude in the room. And nobody was picking Holyfield to win other than me and Phil. We got I forget the number, man, but it was a lot of people. Okay, a lot. I had a pool table and everything too. So everything is we down there. And let me tell you something, man. Everybody that said the only way Holyfield can win, he's gonna have to fight like Ali. I said, well, he's gonna lose then if by that logic, because he doesn't fight like Ali. He doesn't have to run. He doesn't have to dance and move and run. He don't have to do any of that shit. Not calling Ali a runner, but yeah, I don't consider his style running, first of all. But I'm saying, like, that's what people was basically saying. He got to run, hit and run, and hit and run. No, he don't. And this is the thing. I watch every fighter, and I don't look at no fucking fighter and say, nobody can beat this guy. Now, nobody can beat certain people. I feel like you can put them in any generation, and they'll have the same type of dominance. It's irrelevant, though, because that's just fantasy shit, and we'll never know. But the same reaction, people was, oh, nah, Holyfield too small. So you done forgot about Foreman, you done forgot about Bo, you done forgot about all these, these guys ain't Tyson. Yeah, you don't have to be Tyson. I think Holyfield's a better fighter than Mike by far. And I think that Mike Tyson's going to lose. Now, my only thing was, can Holyfield take his shot? Now, do you expect or picture the guy just standing there just banging, fighting stupidly? No, that's not what I pictured. And I always felt like he was much sharper, better just overall than Mike Tyson, the smarter fighter. It's funny how after he whooped Mike's ass, all the excuses, every excuse, oh, Mike's old. He's 4 fucking years younger than Holyfield, but he's old. Oh, Holyfield waited for him. Holyfield didn't wait for shit. It's not his fault Mike went to prison, right? Every excuse. Second fight, oh, the headbutts, all this imaginary shit that never happened. And this is, I'm like, man, shut your bitch ass up. Every one of you that talk that shit, I sat down right here on this couch with people and said, we're going to count the headbutts. And everybody who I did that with looked absolutely stupid. Because every one of them, where's the fucking headbutts? Let's look. And when they realized the headbutts was being initiated by Mike, leading him with his fucking head. Holyfield's not even coming forward. Holyfield turns. You the fuckers don't know shit about boxing. I'm not even going through that again. But bottom line, every one of these excuses, nothing changes. Just to have Mike Tyson, in fairness, I was headbutting him too, but I got the sympathy. Yeah. And I'm like, what did Mills Lane say? The butts were accidental, but they were initiated by Mike. Somehow, everybody else saw something different. All the Mike Tyson fans saw something different. Whatever, man. So, it was the same thing. He's not strong enough. He's not there. Okay. I told you guys, you don't have to be the strongest puncher. You don't have to be the hardest hitter. Holyfield doesn't punch as hard as Mike Tyson, but who got stopped? You know, so my thing, and let me say this. This is how I envision him beating, Crawford beating Canelo. Lateral movement, working with his jab. And you see how he fakes his, just do this. He's measuring him with that little slide back step. Especially when Canelo digs to the body. Crawford was on point. What was he doing? Did I not tell y'all? Catch with the fucking elbows. This is some shit you new school fucking fighters just don't know how to fucking do. I don't know what the fuck they're training you guys in the gym like. How everybody's trying to, do this shit and open up and just put their hands out. You catch and shoot with the same fucking hand. And you look at how many times Canelo throw that fucking body shot. He would catch, and with the same hand, he come over top, bow, bow, right? Bow, bow. And then he's not expecting more shots to come. And then as soon as Canelo started to get some momentum, or he can, Crawford to step back. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. If you guys who keep talking about Canelo's pressure, that's why I'm like, yeah, y'all just a bunch of Canelo fans. Y'all, what pressure? What fucking pressure does Canelo bring? All he does is hold his hands up and just walk in, right? So when I'm watching him walk in, and we use the word pressure because he's walking forward, but Canelo's not a combination puncher. He throws one punch at a time, and he tries to throw a home run with every swing. Canelo is one of the most repetitive punchers I've ever seen. He throws the same shit every time. He throws that lead left hook to the body. And when he does that shit, what does he do? He comes around with the right hook up top. You understand what I'm saying? And when he throws a jab, he try to steal down and come back. But it's like, you know what's coming, and you can see it. So my thing was, I didn't think it was going to be, the second he touched Crawford, Crawford's going down. Nope. I said, if he stabs him with that jab, right, work off the jab, keep it long. Because and that's exactly what the fuck he did. When he's throwing his punches, it looks like when Crawford throws his shots, you see he's keeping it long, and you see the jab come, boom, 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 right? Right? Boom, 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 right? He's throwing the 1-2, right? 2-2-1. They're keeping it long, and oh shit, okay. He had Canelo so confused and frustrated because Canelo couldn't get in. He could not get in. Turn his head, look, all this goofy shit. Yeah, he had Canelo so frustrated. So all the playing and like I'm just having fun. He was frustrated. And that's what he did. And he used the lateral movement. And there was times he got on his legs and just moved completely. Kept moving. Wouldn't let Canelo get set. Wouldn't let him find anything. He wouldn't let him into the fight. That's what I pictured him doing to win. The thing was if he could do it. And we found out that he could do it. I told you guys, man, you talk all this shit. If you sit down and ask a person, show me where Canelo improved since the Floyd fight. Do you realize this motherfucker was 44 fights in as a pro at 23? You look at the age and say, he's only going to get better. That's always the expectations. What has he shown us that he's got better at? No, he fought fighters that he were better than, and then he could do these things, to these guys. Bivol beat him with basic shit. Bivol just stood in front of him and just kept it long. He just stopped. That's all Bivol. Bivol did what he was supposed to do. All his experience compared to Bivol's. Let's compare. It's like Ray Leonard fighting Donnie Lalonde. He's behind on points. He needs to start to step up to catch it because he's behind. And he winds up knocking Donnie Lalonde out, right? Smaller guy coming up to fight a bigger guy. Now, that's more of a comparison of Canelo versus Kovalev. At that point, Canelo was Superman. To you guys, he could be heavyweights. He could do this. He could do that, right? Kind of the Roy Jones effect after the Ruiz fight. Then look at his opponents since the Bivol fight. So the Callum Smiths and Liam Smiths and all these guys. So what? The Saunders, all those guys. These guys are not like, oh man, yeah, no. These are you look at who's there and who he's fighting. And this is what I'm saying. He didn't fight Jermell Charlo where they were both at 154. He still hasn't fought Jamal, and we know Jamal is supposed to have got injured or something or whatever. So Jamel stepped up or whatever. But bottom line, he refused to fight Demetrius Andre back when he should have fought a long time ago. And what were you Canelo fans saying? Oh, y'all just want Canelo to fight everybody. No, see, as a champion, that's what you want. You want to fight and beat everybody. Here's the deal. Let's look at it this way. If I beat Jamal Charlo, I beat Jamel Charlo, I beat Demetrius Andre, all of the fighters that is the top guys at the time, right? Who's left for me to beat? So now if you say I'm cherry picking, it doesn't even matter. You know why? Because all these guys are on the same level. These are the next guys coming up. Who did I cherry pick? So now the only fucking way for me to do this without you guys seeing it as a cherry pick, right, is start rematching guys I've already beat. So if I already beat the very top dudes, I'm just, hey, I love the fight. I'm still here. I'm fighting who's there. That doesn't make sense to y'all? That's the way a champion's supposed to think. That's why you're the champion. Not just holding the belt, going into your Ric Flair mode with the belt on your shoulder, talking shit, knowing damn well, you understand what I'm saying? You have no intentions on, I'm going to cheat to win my fights. Well, no, I'm just going to cherry pick and talk shit about guys I know I'm not going to fight. Or no, this is why people always tell you, man, this guy, whatever. Okay, and then they go fight somebody that's a lesser fighter. And instead of you guys focusing on the fights in front of you, it's not my job to worry about Canelo's career or Crawford or whoever's. It's not my job. That's their job. You guys could not talk about any one of these fighters without making a Floyd Mayweather comparison. Why the fuck do you think everything has to be a connection? Everything has to be a comparison. That fantasy shit is only for fantasy shit for fun. You guys trying to claim dominance and trying to live vicariously through these fighters, you sound foolish. What did Canelo say after the fight? My legacy's already cemented, and hey, this and this and that, and I enjoyed the fight or whatever. But let me tell y'all something. See, he chose Crawford over Benavidez. You want to know why he chose Crawford over Benavidez? Look at Benavidez's size, his power. He knows what happened when he fought Bivol. He's going to have problems with Benavidez as well. Him seeing Crawford being the smaller guy, what he more than likely looked at was, I'm not worried about Crawford's power. I can see he has very slick boxing skills. If anything, I might not be able to catch up to Crawford to really hit him the way I need to knock him out. Okay, let's get some fighters with some rhythm in here. Let's get some slick boxers in here to train with the sport. So all the super confident talk, that shit meant nothing. And that's why he picked Crawford over Benavidez, but he ended up losing anyway. Now, if he didn't fight Benavidez when he was champion, Benavidez is at 175 now. Do you think he wants to fight Benavidez now? No. So what's next for Canelo? If I'm Jamal Charlo, I'm like, hey, Terrence, I'm at your door. What's up? Yeah. Now, if he can't get the Crawford fight, hell yeah. I go smack Canelo around. Hey, because this is what people do. They're going to compare the performances. But who would you choose to fight? The winner. This fight wasn't even close, man. Okay? This fight wasn't close at all. So Max Kellerman, when he's talking to Canelo and he's telling him, the rounds were close, and but then Canelo, no, he's talking to Crawford. Then you started to, from the fifth round on, you started to pick up and just separate your. It kind of went like that somewhat, but those rounds wasn't really so much close either. But regardless, it doesn't matter. It was pretty much, Max Kellerman and anybody who right now is going, Crawford Crawford is the same fucking Crawford. The whole point is he's always been a better fighter than Canelo. They were just not in the same weight class. And that's what we saw. We didn't see a 37-year-old, oh shit, I've gotten way better. No, we didn't see a 35, 36-year-old, oh, I've just gotten way better. That's not what we saw. We saw two fighters who's been the same fighter for years. Simple. When Amir Khan was outboxing Canelo, my whole thing was, I think, put it like this, however long it lasts, Khan may be winning the fight, he may be touching Canelo more, but as soon as Canelo crack him in the chin, he's going out. This type of situation. with Crawford, okay, with all the wrestling, the powerlifting, all the deadlift, all that shit, if you, like I told you, Crawford's not going to be a harder puncher just because he's going up in weight. You punch as hard, like your punching power. People think it's because you gain weight, oh, your power is just going to carry over, and it doesn't. No, no. So being more muscular, being heavier, if anything, that's going to slow you down. Okay. Canelo is not a combination puncher. He throws one punch at a time. He throws the same repetitive punches over and over and over. He said, "I try to do everything," and he's a great fighter. And okay, did it look like he tried to do everything to y'all? Okay, not saying he didn't. He tried to do everything he knows how to do. I told you guys, man. Now, if some of you, if you're sharp enough, you've probably done it already or plan to. You just watched him fight Crawford and Canelo. Now, go back and watch Floyd and Canelo, and you see exactly what I'm telling you. Canelo's the same fighter, but slower. He's not as fast as he used to be. Okay, he's not as quick feet or his hand speed, and you see he used to move his head a lot more. You understand what I mean? He's the same fucking fighter. Y'all have been brainwashed with people wanting to label him as the best fighter on the planet because he became the cash cow and he's a draw. Skill-wise, nah, same fucking Canelo. You're watching him fight and beat bigger guys. Okay, Pacquiao moved up in weight, fought and beat bigger guys. Floyd moved up in weight, fought bigger guys, Canelo included. Okay, so you guys get caught up into the and this person said who cares? Now, he knows he can't beat Crawford. Max Kellerman asked him a question, and he didn't even answer the question. He just responded. He asked him about a rematch. Do he think after fighting him now that he would do better in a rematch? Listen, I like to fight the best fighter. I like the challenge. I love to fight. So, Terrence Crawford is a great champion, and that's not what he asked you, Canelo. He asked you, do you think you can beat him in a rematch? This wasn't an old language barrier thing. No. He knows I can't beat this motherfucker. So, yeah. Now, you guys think that it matters if you think Canelo is better than Floyd or Crawford is better. Canelo already got his ass kicked. He just got his ass kicked by Crawford now. Crawford's career should not be defined by anybody. No one fighter, your career should be defined by a comparison to somebody else's. If that's where your head is, then that's a problem for you. Crawford's 38 years old. This is what, his 41st or 42nd fight or whatever it is as a pro. So what are they going to do now? People that want to see Crawford lose, yo, you should try to break Floyd's record. Go for it if that's what you want to do. But look at his age. Who is left out there? Jamal Charlo, right? There's names of just fighters, but you understand what are you sticking around for? You understand what I'm saying? What is Crawford sticking around for? If you're not gonna, because there's no reason to stay at 168 and not fight Jamal Charlo, and there's really no reason to go to another weight class. That's all his choice, though. But now what they try to do is build the fighter up to be bigger than life, because now the next person, or if anybody beats him, can we take this fighter and market this fighter and make that's what boxing, that's what they do. That's what they do. And my thing is this, right? Like I said, the fighters, they know better. The fans are more emotional and into trying to defend a fighter than the fighter is himself. What you saw happen with Canelo Alvarez, like I said, was he finally got in there with an actual real boxer. Not some, he's good, he's decent. No. He got in there with a guy, and he's always had a problem with slick boxers. But like I said, not sure if Crawford had the legs to still get him around that ring like he needed to. But like I said, he answered those questions. Yeah, and we see we already knew who the better fighter was. We already knew this. being the cash cow, okay, is what he banked on. Canelo being called the best fighter and all. Yeah, okay. But you see the point? He lost to a guy that moved up, a fucking lightweight that ended up ultimately coming all the way to 168. No warm-ups, no tune-ups at 168. Went straight to Canelo. Now, here goes something that I saw before I did this video. Because, you know, this is the social media era. You had some people, you know, that was, and then I'm about to go here. I'm about to go here because you motherfuckers are pathetic. You had people that was saying, yo, great job by Crawford. Okay. You had people giving their opinions. Now, you always want to see every generation. I get so sick of hearing this. He's the GOAT. She's the GOAT. This one is the GOAT. That one is the it's because it's all it is let's try to put this person over a person that they never fought, right? Type of thing to where it's always going to be somebody else's time. As long as these sports hang around, it's always going to be somebody else's time. And it just gets so annoying listening to people talk because now you start, well, statistics show this and this. Like, man, look, none of that shit matters. Perfect example. If Mayweather and Pacquiao never fought, even if Pacquiao would have been the one to say, nope, I'm not interested, or whatever, you couldn't tell anybody right now Pacquiao wouldn't have beat Mayweather. Because you got more haters you have more ignorant, childish people. You think because these people sit here making millions of dollars behind a microphone or big money making behind a microphone talking shit and trying to tell you who, these fucking people just talk shit, man. That's all they do. They get in their feelings and they're talking about who they want to win, not necessarily how they really think the fight's going to go. So all this bullshit talk doesn't matter. You know, Mayweather did his thing. Crawford is doing his thing right now. And however long he sticks around, that's up to him. Ray Leonard had his day. Roy Jones had his day. Ali had his day. Mike Tyson had it. Everybody had their day. So, you understand what I'm saying? It is what it is. But Crawford went in and did what he was supposed to do. You know, I told you guys, man, when you even like the William Skull fight, he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to engage. So that type of style can make a fighter look bad. The problem with Canelo, though, is like I said, he never knew how to cut off a ring. He has slow fucking feet. Canelo looks good against flat-footed guys that can't get away from him, that back themselves up to the ropes, back themselves up to the corner, and standing like a fucking punching bag. Even if you're physically bigger than the guy. If you're standing up there fighting a guy that can punch, okay, yeah, he can put some hurt on you. But then let's not talk about Liam Smith and Callum Smith and guys like that and Edgar Berlanga and Jaime Munguia. Let's not sit here and act like these guys are like really world-class, top level. Stop that bullshit. And that's what he's been doing. So even when Bob Arum says, Canelo's nothing but a businessman now, man. Crawford beats him. What the fuck? What has he done in the last 5, 6? And I'm like, yeah. But see, when you speak these truths, oh, y'all hating on Canelo. No. But let me get back to the point that I was saying. Because you can't tell the truth and not be a hater to you little childish motherfuckers out there. Who gives a fuck anyway? We don't need your fucking permission to say what we're going to say. But I'm reading the comments. And all of a sudden, oh, Canelo's old. He's not the same. You could see it. And I admit, like I said, his hand speed isn't what it was, and neither is his head movement. It's not the same. That's his problem. Once again, and Crawford is older than him. But I'm seeing, oh man, Crawford ran. All he did was run. All the excuses. You want to know what is not fucking, it's not surprising. And it's not surprising that you motherfuckers, everybody who I saw when I read these comments, what is your last name? Hernandez, Corrales, Rodriguez. Like, here y'all go with this bullshit, man. Here y'all go with this bullshit. You know, you can't just accept, hey, man, the better fighter was the black guy. You're the motherfuckers. Remember when I said, in my very last video that I made about these two, I said, this is not America versus Mexico. This is fucking Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. oh, but you have to understand, you fail to realize it's always been, shut your bitch ass up. I ain't failing to realize shit. Y'all just love to keep the same stupid fucking mindset going. That's my whole thing. The build up to this fight was shit. Every fucking thing I saw was somebody sitting with the Mexican flag up talking about what Canelo's going to do and Mexican power and blah, all this shit. Or you seeing somebody sit there talking about what Crawford is going to do because he's this, he's that, and he's better than Floyd. And it's like, here we go. Why can't you just compare the two fighters and look at what's going on? It's the same. No. Then you got a swarm of people like, no, he's not better than Floyd. Stop the bullshit. He may be better than Canelo, but see, you understand? So the focus is not even Canelo versus Crawford. The focus is America versus Mexico. Then they start, oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he can't beat black fighters. Oh, he this and that. Oh, who is Crawford beating who? It's like, here we go with this shit. We can't enjoy shit because everything has to be, let's criticize and criticize and criticize some more instead of just looking at the two fighters and, hey, what we think is going to happen. First of all, let's understand something, okay? No, I don't think Crawford is better than Floyd. I never thought he was better than Floyd. I think he's a solid fighter, and he earned his position of what he is right now. Simple. I don't care if you think he's better than Floyd or not. I don't care if you think Floyd is better. I don't care about that shit. My focus is the fight that's happening. Not something that happened way back when or what's going to happen in the future in terms of, trying to predict the fight and like as if like this generation there's no need to fight for them to fight because this guy will beat that guy because he beat that guy. This is the type of, nonsense that you guys do. All right. Now that all being said, I know people like Showbiz is feeling really stupid and eating crow right now. When are you motherfuckers gonna learn? There's no boxing experts. It's nothing but a fucking a self-glorified title that people give themselves, and then other people follow along and all this stupid shit. This is you motherfuckers. I told you guys, man. You know, any one of us can be wrong about what we think is gonna happen, but like I always tell you guys, I look at what both fighters have, and the scenario that I see more likely to happen, I'll tell you guys what I think what happen if this guy does this, he could do this, he could do that. But once again, like I said, come fight night, you do not know what either guy is going to do. So this is why when it comes to consistency and who's been doing what, if we break that down, the difficult part about that with Terrence Crawford versus Canelo is because Crawford has not been fighting at that weight class. You understand what I mean? For a long time. It was just him coming up this one time. But I told you, I'm not telling you it's impossible for him to win. In fact, if he see what I see, he can easily outbox this motherfucker. And I had all the Hernandez's and the Rodriguez's and all these motherfuckers coming to comment, yo, man, you just hating on, man. Shut your bitch ass up. And isn't it funny how the boy went in there, stuck to the game plan, and fought very similar to, he pretty much did what I said. If he see what I see, I told you, if he keep it, look, height-wise, they look like they're around the same height, whatever, they, I don't give a fuck all about the reach. There was no significant advantage for either guy with all of that shit. But what I'm looking at, okay, is really simple. When it comes to skills, I guess that saying is old school and played out to y'all. Skills pay the bills. Because y'all seem to think it's all about power, power, power. And I tell you motherfuckers all the time, nah, it's really not about power, power, power. You think that shit because that's what people have poisoned your brains to think. But if you really look at it, right, it's always been the most skillful fighters will go in there and they will find a way to win for the most part. But how do you, as a so-called fight fan, okay, because you guys are fighter fans, you're really not fight fans, you're fighter fans. But how do you guys actually sit here and talk about boxing and all-time greats and everything, and overlook the fact that a skillful fighter, let's look, for example, let's just take a street fighter fighting a guy that knows how to box. Notice how in the streets, dudes be doing all this stupid shit. Remember back in the day, motherfuckers be slapping the elbow, the stupid, all this shit, and you know they can't fight. Do all this kind of shit, right? What's the first thing come out of somebody's mouth? If that boxer is defending himself, that street fighter's a stupid motherfucker. But no, in this generation, y'all think a street fighter can beat a boxer in a street fight. Like, what the fuck? You just think because a guy knows how to box, somehow you don't know how to do anything else. We're not even talking about a guy from another discipline either. We just a street fighter. Okay. What happens if that boxer is a bully? That's what you're going, oh man, he fucking with people there. He know damn well that guy can't handle him. Okay. You do realize that a brawler, a puncher, is always in a position of, put it to you like this. Say that brawler can take a big punch. That brawler has speed. That he's no slouch, right? What happens for the most part? He can bring that pressure. He can do, and they can even have a great fight. But more than likely, the boxer usually just outshines. It's just too much. And that's why when you see guys, you see like Canelo is a boxer puncher, okay? But like I said, he throws the same repetitive punches over and over. And for him saying that he tried everything, okay, like I said, he tried everything that he knows. If that's the level of experience that he has right now, compare. You go back, since y'all like to compare, go back and watch him fight Floyd and watch this. And I guarantee you see Floyd kicked his ass. Floyd beat him. Even bottom line, Floyd beat him even worse because he didn't even win a round against Floyd. But bottom line, go look at his skill set. Look what he did in that fight and look at what he did in this fight. And if you're honest, I'll bet you'll be right in this comment section going, damn, Aries, you're right. He's the same fucking fighter, bro. He's the same fighter. When you hear me say, for example, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, if you try to bring these guys back against lower level guys, it's not going to build their confidence. This is just a fight you won against lower level guys. But the second you put them in there with somebody who's on that same level, or, what's going to happen? Flashbacks. Oh, shit, I've been here. Oh, I'm hurt. Damn, I'm down. Panic. You understand what I'm saying? They're not what they used to be. Look at when AJ got dropped by motherfucking Klitschko. He told him, if you don't finish me, I'm gonna knock you out. And that's what ended up happening. He didn't get finished, and he stopped. He showed courage and everything in that fight. When was the last time you seen him in a fight like that? And he actually pulled it off and won? No. He got knocked out in 4 rounds by Dubois. You think bringing him back against some lesser opponent is going to get him confidence? Okay, I'll be the C-level, D-level guy. Somehow, that means I'm going to beat another A-level or B-level. And even though in this generation, it's hard to call anybody an A-level, honestly, man. Yeah, I mean, Usyk's like in the world by himself, really. But, yeah. But bottom line, it's the same thing for fighters that win. You're winning and you're racking up these wins and you call the shots and you're getting paid big amounts of money, huge amounts of money to fight guys that's really not. Do you think Billy Joe Saunders is an all-time great? Is Liam and Callum Smith all-time greats? Is Hyman Gia and Edgar Berlanga all-time greats? So no, you fighting these guys. This is what you resorted to. And the fact that he doesn't even feel the need to rematch Bivol. See, that says a lot to me. You guys, when a guy wins, why he didn't give him a rematch? But when a guy loses, but you show favoritism towards him, you don't ask that same question. Why you don't want to go fight Bivol? You heard me say, plain and simple. And this is why I think I did the video that I scrapped, actually. I did a video that I scrapped. And I talked about, basically I talked about Deontay, I talked about AJ, I talked about Errol Spence, Caleb Plant. Was there anybody else? And what I talked about, I don't remember, but what I talked about in that video is that I think they're all finished. And I broke down why I think they're all finished. And I don't want to go through that now because then this video is going to be even longer than I wanted it to be. But bottom line, you cannot fight C-level dudes, D-level dudes. And then here's the misconception. Yeah, but you got to remember, he's beaten better guys before, right? But now he's on easy street. Now he's in there with a guy that's much smaller coming up in weight. Okay, I'm getting flack for not fighting Benavidez. Okay, Benavidez is no longer at 175. I can breathe easy now. I don't have to worry about him. Here's this little guy challenging me. We're going to get a huge payday. Benavidez, Crawford. I think I have a better chance. I feel more comfortable I can beat this little guy. And it backfired. Now you can, now are you daring to be great being 168 pounds and fighting a guy coming all the way up from fucking lightweight? No. It had nothing to do with it. But he knew Crawford was better than he pretended. I tell you what though, if we're being honest, a lot of people started changing their opinions about this fight at the last moment. Both ways. A lot of people started saying, nah, I think Crawford going to win. Who initially was saying they thought Canelo was going to win. And you had people going, nah, I think Canelo going to win, when they were initially saying they think Crawford could do it. But none of that matters, see? It still comes down to what's going to happen come fight night. And like I said, when it comes to myself, I always tell you guys, we can think whatever we want. But we do not know what's going to happen come fight night. Now, let me give you, just think about this. Let's say Crawford doesn't retire. Can you think of any reason that he shouldn't fight Jamal Charlo? Okay, now, for Canelo, if it's about proving I'm still that guy, or I'm still at least, at least the second best in the division, right? If he wants to prove that, can you see any reason that he should not fight Jamal Charlo? Once you become a seasoned veteran, man, a seasoned fighter like that, all of this going back, tune-up fight shit, bro, you are a pro. You make multi-millions of dollars. Nobody want to fucking see you coming in and fight some fucking CD level guy, man. The shit is not respectable. Either you have it or you don't. Like I said, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. So nobody wants to see that shit, man. But right now, too, you got a lot of people going, damn, you know what? Crawford's really that good. Then you got people going, nah, Crawford's good, but Canelo is overrated. Then you got people going, you know what, man? Oh, I read a comment that had a bunch of replies of people liking this stupid comment. Crawford knew, listen, he lost the fight. This motherfucker said he knew he lost the fight. You could see during the fucking announcement for the decision, right? For the official word, notice how Crawford got down on his knee and was looking down. And I'm like, man, you motherfuckers are so full of shit that you don't even have shame to say dumb shit like that. First of all, even before they gave the official word, immediately after that fight was over, Crawford stood there, raised his hands. Now, Canelo raised his hand too and walked away. Canelo knew damn well he didn't win that fight. So are you saying you think that Canelo thought he won that fight? Nah. No, there's no way he won that fight. He know he did. See, you dummies are saying shit that Canelo's not even saying. So what happened, even before that, you could see Crawford holding tears back. Before they even get it, you could see him walking like a couple of times he did it. Well, you can see it. And he knew he won. All he was waiting for is seal the deal. If they would have gave that fight to fucking Canelo, this is what makes it so bad about you pathetic fighter fans. you would have been happy just because Canelo got the decision, knowing damn well he didn't win. That's how fucked up people are. But that's not what happened. And if you're dumb enough to think that he got down on his knee because he was, please, I hope I won, like, he knew he won that fucking fight. And like I said, and the only fear, if anybody had of anything, was I hope they don't rob his brother, because he beat Canelo's ass. That motherfucker knew he won that fight. The fuck are you talking about? And you got idiots liking the comment and putting, hell yeah, anytime you think you won, you go jump up on the ropes and all that. And it's like, yo, this, bro, wow, man, wow. But the right man got his hand raised. And like I told you, I wanted him to beat Canelo's ass, because all this talk about he's unbeatable at 168 pounds, no, he knew who to fight and who not to fight. You know, and let me say, when you fight a guy, and let's say in fighting that guy, right, you know damn well there's other guys who's better. Because just say, for example, when you recruit boxers in your camp, then what do? Don't you pick and choose who you want? Like, nah, you know what, this dude, yeah. Why? They want to turn these fighters into champions. They're not just there to just coach you through a boxing career. No, they want champions. They want big money. How the fuck you think the fighters don't want big money? The coaches and everybody else do. Hell yeah, because the more you make, the more they're going to make. But let's be real. With all these excuses that people are making, it's not going to change the outcome of what happened. But a lot of people are now starting to see the same shit I've been telling y'all. The same shit Floyd been telling y'all. But now y'all took it as hate. Y'all took Canelo Alvarez is the same fucking fighter. At 44 fights in, y'all thought somehow he was going to get better because he's only 23. And nah, Canelo Alvarez is a solid fighter. It's not to take nothing away from what he can do. But you guys tried to make him to be better than what he actually fucking was. And that's the thing I'm telling you. So after the Floyd fight, his entire, let's just say the second half, because he's at 60-something fights now. So let's just say the second half of his fucking career, he spent that whole time, and you spent that whole time constantly bringing up Floyd Mayweather's name. Oh, he'll beat Floyd now. Oh, he's better than... Nah, that same Canelo, Floyd would kick his ass right now as far as I'm concerned. I watched him and I said, yo, I told y'all that. I said, because this dude, they asked him, out of anybody you can fight, who do you want to fight more than anybody? Oh, Floyd Mayweather. Not an active fighter, but Floyd Mayweather. And look, my thing is, let's say if he could beat Floyd right now. Let's just say if he can. Floyd's 48 fucking years old. Who cares? But you would be happy just to say, yeah, he beat Floyd. This is what I mean. Fight build-ups and all this shit, it turns me off. I guess I'm just too mature for this bullshit, man. Because I'm about that action. I like to get active. I ain't with all that, yo, I think this guy, oh, nigga, you crazy. No, he beat. Who gives a fuck about all that shit? And this is all I see. That's all I fucking see. So, yeah, Crawford went and did what he was supposed to. And guess what? It was easy work. It's easy work. He played with Canelo just like he did everybody else. Y'all built up Canelo to be this super, you know, he's not better now than he was when he fought Floyd. This is what y'all failed to understand. But I bet you now, a lot of hypocrites are going to start going, yeah, that's true. Yeah, because if you look at it, he was fast. See, he's not the same. Because they want to try to make it seem like a guy who's older than him had some type of advantage because of a breakdown of physicality. Nah, stop it. But then the real ones, too. You're going to say, and I know I already had people come to me saying, yo, Aries, you was right about this shit, man. I already know this shit. Because I don't do shit off of bias. I say what I say off of what I see. And what I feel based off what I see, like I say, it's a fight-by-fight basis. Now, nothing personal against this guy. I don't know him. He ain't did shit to me. He can't do shit to me. But when y'all go on Showbiz channel, you tell that little bug-eyed motherfucker, stop being an ass kisser and call a fight based on what's really real. Not trying to appease the fans of people so you can get likes and subscribers. Yeah. and views. Tell it like it really is. I've never seen a motherfucker got so many fucking followers, talk so much about boxing, always trying to break down something, be so wrong. This motherfucker is always striking out. Can't get right is better than him at baseball. Let that sink in. He just can't get it right. Every time I turn around, this dude is calling some bullshit, and it don't happen nearly the way he said it. Anyways, that's all I got for you. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And I will catch y'all on the next video.